Welcome.
Welcome to the Gaming with Scissors podcast.
I love it!
Hello and welcome back to another fantastic episode of the Gaming with Scissors podcast. I'm your host, Matt. You probably know me as NitroWeasel3K. I spent the entirety of the week sick as a dog, so I sound like I'm dying, and I'm going to for the rest of this podcast. With me, as always, or at least the last time, is Sean Piper, the owner of the site.
Hey, what's up?
And Nick, who is a writer for the site.
Hello, all.
Cool. So I figured we would kind of keeping with how we did things last week. We could start with, what did you guys do this week? Sean, if you want to start, I'll go last because I keep going first and everything.
It's always important for you to be first in everything.
If you're not first, you're last. I heard
That's
that.
true.
I think a philosopher said that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so what have I been doing this week? My week has pretty much been completely having me submerged in Horizon Zero Dawn and a little bit of Overwatch. That has basically been everything. Horizon Zero Dawn has really kind of got me sunk, and I'm super happy with it.
I don't even I've literally looked at a very minimal amount of those things, or about things about Horizon Zero Dawn. All I know about it is hunting essentially things that look like the robot Transformers.
Yeah. Okay. So, a quick breakdown of the game is you're in this post-apocalyptic world, but it's so far beyond the apocalypse that nobody knows how they got there, and they kind of forget all of the old world. You start out and you have no idea what's kind of going on. You're like a baby, and then it shows you getting a little bit older, and then you're grown up. And you kind of, as you explore through this world, you kind of find little bits and pieces of what happened, and you start to build this kind of puzzle. But yeah, the only technology that's in the game, everybody's basically like a caveman, and the only technology that exists in the game are these dinosaur creature things that are all just machines, and everybody's scared of them. So technology is super taboo, and everybody just has fires and huts and sticks and stuff. So it's a really good game.
Question:
Yes.
Is this Rust?
This is
that all? This is just Rust with less naked dudes.
There are no naked dudes in it. Everyone is fully clothed. Which
why is anybody playing it?
Because
if it's not a post-apocalypse where I can murder a guy with a rock and run around butt naked, why am I playing it?
It is. So I guess the only way I can explain it would be if you took Far Cry Primal and kind of mixed it with some Monster Hunter. That's what you get, and it's done really, really well. Even I would watch this if it was a TV show, the voice acting in it, the story, the whole world that you're immersed in is very compelling. I haven't played a game where I actually care about, talking to somebody. I want to talk to everybody, and I want to look for all these voice logs, because there's a bunch of you go in at the beginning, you fall into this cave, and you start searching around, and it's part of the old world. There's all this ancient technology, and there's these voice logs you listen to, and you figure out how these people died and stuff like that. I actually care about it in this game. I know you can do all that kind of stuff in BioShock and whatever else kind of Fallout and all that stuff. And those games, I didn't care about it. I was just let me go do stuff. In this game, I'm just I need to know what's going on. It's a great story on top of a pretty good game.
Yeah, a lot of people are freaking out about it because I've been really disconnected this whole month, and then especially the last week. So I haven't played any the new stuff that's out. So I know that you played a little bit of that, and then we'll get to what Nick played in a minute. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised if they listen to our first episode, but but Horizon, yeah, it looked interesting because I could see it's you're like a lady archer, right? She's kind of like a roguey kind of character. She's going through the woods, like sniping things with a bow.
Everybody like compares her to what's her name from Game of Thrones, the red-haired northern lady.
Oh, I can see that comparison. Yeah,
right.
The wild, what is it? The Wild Wilds or whatever. Yeah. Okay, I do know that much. I don't. I'm about to have to turn in my nerd card, but I know like nothing about Game of Thrones. I know that Daenerys Targaryen is like very attractive, and that she can kill you with dragons.
Yeah.
And I know that I want to punch Cersei in the face. But other than that, I don't.
And the girl, her name's Ygritte.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. See, yep. Sure.
I had to look it up. So
okay. So I'm not like the worst. Okay. That's
no.
good.
I've watched all of the episodes, and I've watched them a few times, and my wife is begging me to go back through and watch it again. So it's not like I don't know, unlike some people. But it's definitely it's worth watching if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely
I'll get there eventually. Like I started watching Vikings and got way more into that, and like immediately than I was ever into Game of Thrones. Like I didn't dislike Game of Thrones. I just like I latched so much more onto Vikings that I got like ADD about that, and I was like, oh man, Vikings are sweet. Like I joined the Viking train so late, and then I'm like trying to find out, like, yeah, just maybe I am a Viking. Like, yeah, that's me, dude. Like I could totally relate to these guys. And there's like all these black metal dudes who are like, knifing each other, and they're all Vikings or whatever. Like that's sweet. I could be that, and I'm not. I'm not at all. Like my lineage is like German farmer, so that's a lot of fun.
Bootmaker. That's all.
Yeah, they're just like you picked weeds. You didn't even own the farm. They just let you hang.
You're
out
an indentured servant.
Yeah. You were an indentured servant, and then like not even like one of those ones that revolted. You were just one of those ones that was like, I'm fine with this.
You're hiding in the cellar waiting for everything to calm down.
Yeah, that's where my last name came from. Anyway, so Nick, what did you do / play this week?
Well, at the beginning of the week, I was playing with the RetroPie still. Got to circle back and play a bunch of games that I haven't played in a long time.
Did you get all those? You said you were going to try and get like this that ISO that had like umpteen things on it. Did you get that loaded in?
I did, yeah. It's called Nacho Pie. Wasn't exactly sure why that was until I tried playing Final Fantasy 3 and found that it was all in Spanish. So there's that.
Espanol. That's awesome.
Yes. And my high school Spanish is not so great anymore, so
didn't go very far.
No. But really, that was just the lead up till Friday. Took the day off.
What happened on Friday?
Well,
we don't know.
I did do that midnight sale thing at GameStop, which was pretty interesting, and picked up a Switch and Breath of the Wild.
I'm amazed that it was actually there. First of all, like, I just want you to know that, like, I'm so amazed that, like, I texted you, like, the next day and expected you to be like, oh, you get it, man. It wasn't even there. Like, they had, like, 3 and they were gone. But you had it, like, on good info that they were getting enough to fill their orders and maybe a couple extra, right?
Yes, and they did, actually. I showed up, one of the guys we work with was interested, and he said if they do happen to have an extra console, pick it up for them. And, they did have 3 extra consoles, but they were all spoken for. Like the moment I got there, the manager at the store was handing out cards with his name on them. And those were essentially, if you held one of those cards, you got one of the consoles. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, it was kind of neat how they set it up, though. You basically full paid if you still had to pay anything and all that stuff, and they were giving you a receipt with label on it. They back up all your stuff, so then you come back at midnight and stand in line, and as soon as it strikes midnight, they just start handing them out. They call you by number, so it wasn't too bad.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a neat experience.
so that's what you've pretty much that's all you've done this week? Because I know we were going to get more into that here in a minute, but did you do anything else other than obviously play Breath of the Wild until your hands bled?
Yes. Breath of the Wild, that's it. Nothing more.
Played some toilet Zelda.
Yeah, because I could take it in there now. Because I have a 720p screen that lets me look at a cel-shaded Link while I'm peeing.
That's exactly what everyone needs, right?
Don't drop it in.
Yeah. I'm trying to get Nick to lick the cartridge during this podcast, and he won't do it. Like, I'm trying so hard. It's like, I just want to hear somebody go, ha, 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 like live and in person. Like, it just makes me laugh. I don't know.
I heard it's actually hard to get the taste off of your tongue, so I'm really not interested.
So he's basically going to poison you.
Like I want to like go start walking around. Like, I just want to buy a Switch cartridge and just like take it to somebody's like house and just start rubbing it on all their glasses. It's like this is what you get now. All my tap water tastes like butts. Nope. It's just your overly priced Japanese touchscreen tablet. That's all that is.
You just run up to people in public, like you just have a cartridge in your hand, just like shove it in their mouth and run away. You're like,
it's like that scene in This Is the End when Michael Cera's like, "Does this Coke smell funny?" And he blows it in that dude's face. It's the same thing. Only I'm gonna like just run up and like just gently like swipe it across their lips, like like just hey, what this tastes like? Like, you know, it should be entertaining. So, but yeah, Nick won't. If you want Nick to lick a Switch cartridge, leave us a comment on our Facebook and just tell us, and then maybe we can peer pressure him into doing it. Because if he doesn't do it, like, I'm gonna have to like get somebody else to do it just because it makes me laugh, and it needs to be somebody who doesn't know it's gonna happen. Like, I'm not gonna do it to my wife because she'll cut me. She'll cut me, and I have to sleep in this house with her.
And she'll do it when you're not even awake. You will.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to ask you to do it to your wife because she will cut you faster than my wife would cut me. She would cut you for even thinking about it. So that's fun. So yeah, comment on our Facebook, the NerdLifeTX Facebook. You'll see it's the one with the little fun glasses. It says Nerd Life. It's like the icon that you see when you find this podcast. And then I guess I'll go real quick, and then we'll get back to Nick's Switch talk. This week, my birthday was this week, and so I got a few birthday gifts, and I also went on a trip to Florida. So part of my time, I was not even anywhere where I could play a console. So I always play my 3DS, which, by the way, is forever going to be a Game Boy to me. So if I ever refer to my Game Boy on this show, like,
no, it is.
Old man Weasel's actually talking about his 3DS. I know it's not like 1995 anymore or whatever, but it's a Game Boy.
There's no reason to change the name. It's a Game Boy.
It's a goddamn Game Boy. It games, and it's a boy. I don't know. I don't know why it's called. But anyway, so yeah, because I don't know, because Game Kid didn't translate or something. I don't know.
Is it a Game Man now?
Yeah, it is now. It has a beard and tight pants. Game. I'm Game Man. So I did that, and then Nick actually got me Attack on Titan on the PS4, which that game is bonkers. Like, I think I read somewhere, and I don't know if this is true because I didn't fact check it before we started recording, that they used a really similar engine to what they used for like the not Samurai Warriors, but all those like big open field games where you've got all the enemies in them, and it's like the ancient samurai like fighting
Dynasty
game.
Warriors.
We were just talking about them.
We were literally just talking about that.
Yeah, dude. I think it uses a similar engine because shit gets crazy. Like, you're not just fighting like one or two titans. There'll be like 5 or 6 of them stuck in an alley with you. And you're like trying to like whip around with your little maneuverability gear, and they can like break your maneuverability attachment to another Titan. So they'll just flop on you. And the AI does this really weird shit where it almost does like an inverted worm. Like the Titans will put their arms straight down, throw their neck vertically, and then just let their body like flop forward, and they just like shake like da 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 da, and they like destroy buildings and like land on you and shit. It's really weird. It's so uncomfortable. And it's a lot of fun. Like, you legitimately feel like a badass when you take down a Titan. because you have to like kind of like zip around it and like hit its like the back of its legs and stuff, and like kind of cripple it before you can get to the nape of its neck to kill it. So it's like it's really interesting. Like if you like the show, it follows the storyline of the show loosely, but it's still there. You can still kind of like follow along with it. But you get to play different characters, and they had a really weird like Armin is like a lot weaker than everybody else, which is super uncomfortable because they start you off with the main character, then they let you be Mikasa, and then they switch you to Armin. So you're used to being like these super strong characters that can take a Titan down with like one swipe if you can get to their nape. Armin takes like 4. It's a nightmare. You are the weakest character, and you just want to cry and hide. It probably took me 2 hours to beat his level. It shouldn't have. It had no business taking me that long, but it was so frustrating. And then, like I said, I was on a trip, so I played Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth, which I bought right before I left. And that game is interesting. I don't know if you guys... I don't know. Did you ever play Shin Megami Tensei? Any of those?
I know what it is. I've never played them.
It's kind of like spooky Pokemon.
Okay, yeah.
That's literally all it is.
With cameras? You got to take pictures of ghosts? Is that the game?
No, that's Fatal Frame. Right?
Same thing.
No. So this is like a first person. It was like on the Super Nintendo first.
With a flashlight. You got to find ghosts with a flashlight? Like Luigi's Mansion?
No, it's not like Luigi's Mansion. So it's first person. You like walk around and it'll be like, oh no, there's like a spooky monster, and then you can like it's like weird. It's like this combination of like hacking and tarot cards. You can like capture the monsters and then use them to fight other monsters.
Oh yeah, I've seen people play it. I've seen YouTube videos of it.
It's really weird. It's kind of interesting, but like in the Persona spin-off, like they have like their own quote personas that are like it's like the monster that's connected to them that they can play, and then you can like earn new tarot cards with new monsters on them, and you can like it's kind of like Pokemon. There's less like monster management in it. Like you can combine 2 monsters to make a new one and like all this weird stuff. But they're called personas.
Skeletons.
Yeah, they're spooky, scary. So that's a lot of fun.
I think I played the original Persona on the original PlayStation.
Yeah, it came out on the original PlayStation. Yeah. I never played that one. I had a friend that had it when I was a kid, and I just remember like seeing it on their shelf, and I was like, "Hey, this looks neat." He's like, "It's dumb, don't touch it." Oh, like that game, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was like, never played it, like based on this one guy's bad experience one time. So
it wasn't actually bad. I actually enjoyed that. You walked. The setting was a little weird though. It was like high school.
Yeah. That they almost all are. You're like wandering through a high school. There's like creepy, spooky monsters everywhere.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like real high school.
Yeah, so it's like real high school. Only it's not like real monsters. Like kids with dads who don't hug them enough, so they got to come over there and push you around and call you gay slurs. It's not like those kinds of like things. It's like not like intolerance. It's actual spooky monsters, not like horrible people spooky monsters.
Now, for Persona Q, do you have to like? Is there like moves where you commit suicide to invoke like the spirits to fight for you and stuff?
You kill yourself in the game?
In one of them, I thought, isn't it like blood magic in one of them? You got to like slit your wrist and then it like flies out of the cut or whatever.
Yeah, I think I have Persona 3. I just kind of started that not too long ago. It was a PSP game. But yeah, you have to actually like shoot yourself. One of the characters shoots himself in the head, and like his demon comes out of him when that happens. And then he's all fine like at the end of the match.
Dude, can you imagine if you got that for Christmas? Your mom's like, I got this for you. You're like, Mom,
why you give me the murder kill yourself game? What's wrong with you?
I'm sad now. Did you look this up before you gave it to me? She's like,
how do I look it up?
She's like, no, that nice boy at the game store with all the eyeliner said it was a great game. I'm just like, oh no.
And he went in the back to cry.
I'm gonna get that kid some Cure records for Christmas. Anyway, so yeah, that's enough of that show of emotion. So I thought we could give Nick the floor here to kind of talk about his experience so far with the Switch, because Sean and I are still, I think we're still like, I don't want to say staunchly anti-Switch. I think Sean might be staunchly anti-Switch. I'm not
still angry about it. I'm generally angry about it the more and more I learn. So it's not a good situation.
I did hear some crap this week that like made me mad, and like I'll throw.
Was
that
it from me?
Now.
Was it all the stuff I made up?
No. This is like
the rumors I started.
like just today I saw an article that was like talking about the dead pixel issue that they're having, where like some people like buy this like, you know, it's like a $300 piece of equipment and they get like a dead pixel on it, which whatever, it's an LCD, like that happens. But like Nintendo's fix for it is just ignore it. Like they're not even like
close your eye, close one eye while you play. You can't see it.
Pretend it ain't there. We are trying to
Stick around it.
Right. So I thought that was pretty shady. Like, and then the whole. Then they have.
Should we have Nick talk about it and then we can blast it, or should we just start blasting it?
This is fun.
Okay. Yeah. So and then friend codes are back, which is another thing. And then
why Nintendo doesn't want me to have friends? You know it's too hard for me to tell somebody 178-digit code and them to know my birthday and where I live and how old my mom is for the blood type. Just so they can send me game invites.
Hey,
I can share my Mario level.
My grandma's maiden name.
I didn't know my grandma's maiden name.
And then the other thing that I thought was pretty sucktastic was, hey, you guys want to? Hey, your Switch break? Tough titty. I can't help you with them saves. They're tied to that console forever until you're dead. It's dead.
They're ridiculous. That is the stupidest thing ever. I get that, like, anti-piracy, but how are my save games going to affect somebody? I'm not stealing the game. I have the game. I got to put the disc in, but I would like to continue from where I left off in case my Switch explodes in a fire or something. I need to be able to back this stuff up. You've been able to do it on every system since the PS1, but Nintendo's just like, what does that mean? I don't think so. Let's pass on that. No, you don't need that. You need to start your game over if you're not responsible enough to keep your Switch working.
Start it over. Buy another copy and start that copy over.
Do it again. The other
Shigeru Miyamoto commands it.
The other thing I saw that was just like awful is the Switch is prone to scratching when you take it on and off the dock. So like the main functionality of this thing potentially is going to break your console. So that'd be like, hey, your PS4 might explode into flames if you turn it on, but it's supposed to do that.
Yeah, don't plug your controller into it; it'll blow up in your face.
That's not an okay thing. You can't take the general, like, the niche thing that's making it, this is why the console's cool and why we didn't invest in actually making it with current generation technology. It's the whole, I can move it up and down and take it all around and into the bathroom and pee on it. But no, if you want to pee on it, first you got to scratch the screen to hell, and then pee on it all you want. You just can't see the game. Hope you bought one of them a Zag glass screen protectors to put over it. If not, you're screwed to hell.
Okay.
Nick, let's talk about how much you like the Switch.
I'll tell you what.
Let the clowns in.
I can't believe that. All right. So it all comes down to Breath of the Wild.
So the one game that came out for it.
I did pick up a couple more games.
Are there other games? Because I'm only aware of that. Because that's all I've seen on Facebook.
I got the Spectre Knight. It's a Shovel Knight, and it's got like a couple of expansions, like the Spectre Knight and King Knight editions.
Okay, cool.
That's awesome. That's pretty much been awesome on all the other consoles, though. Nothing special there. I did get Bomberman R, which means that I gave Konami money. And I do apologize for that.
Boo.
You're getting a little check on your employee card there.
I apologize. I didn't realize. So apparently they bought some of the Hudson Soft and Sunsoft IPs at some point in time. So yeah, they have like Bomberman, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have like Bonk and all of them games. So there's a bunch of other games that they could just not make.
Not Bonk. Dude, I love Bonk. Don't.
TurboGrafx 16, man. Favorite
Dude,
console of all time.
I will forever believe, really truly believe, and I know this is stupid. Nick and I have talked about this, and I don't know if he agrees with me or not, that if Bonk had been on Nintendo or Sega, that would have beat out. Like if it had been on a bigger console, I think that totally would have beat out for like the mascots. Like I think that would have been the mascot because that dude is awesome.
Yeah, the games were good.
Yeah, those are great games compared to like Mario or Sonic. Dude, I'd way rather play Bonk. Bonk is so fun.
It is.
Yeah, well, wasn't there a bonk that came out on like Genesis or Super Nintendo?
But
and
still,
NES.
Yeah, but that's like later. Those are just, and also the NES versions
after
are
they had established mascots.
Yeah, and that bonk version that came on there was kind of like a crippled port. Like, because the TurboGrafx had extra buttons.
That and the
yeah.
processing power is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like running it on your Kia Sarah cell phone or whatever.
Exactly. Anyway, so back to this Switch thing. I want to know about that.
Okay, well, the Switch itself is actually pretty sweet. I wasn't sure, so I'm just playing the Joy-Cons on that grip that comes with the console itself. I didn't buy a Pro controller.
You didn't have an extra $90 to drop on a controller?
Yeah, it's they're $70, and it's a little pricey. I mean, that's about $10 over what the other consoles had for controllers when they first came out. The cool thing about it is the battery. I guess the battery inside is the same battery that they put in like the 3DS, so it lasts basically for about 40 hours. So that's kind of sweet. And you can also connect it via Bluetooth to a PC. So maybe down the road I might pick up one, but not at launch. The thing I did pick up, Breath of the Wild. It's amazing.
Is this amazing like everybody says that every Legend of Zelda game is amazing, or is it actually like a good game?
Okay, so
this is not like fanboy amazing. This is just like, okay, this is a legitimately good game.
I wouldn't call myself a Zelda fanboy. I've tried to get into a lot of them. The last one I really enjoyed personally was A Link to the Past. Ocarina of Time. So the whole N64 thing, like I was a PC gamer at the time, and the graphics hurt my eyes. For the N64.
I stand by my statements of the N64 being the worst console of every console. I don't care what it is. It was garbage. Almost every game. There's like a handful.
People love that console though. Like you will get in a fist fight over that console, and it's insane.
Oh, Mario 64. You start talking about that. Garbage. I don't care. I get the fact that it was revolutionary, but just because something's revolutionary doesn't mean it's good. It just means it changed things. And Mario 64 isn't a good game. I will stand by that.
I really enjoyed that game at the time. However,
I don't enjoy you.
That's about the
fist fight.
That's about the only game for that console that I can really say I enjoyed.
Star Fox.
Star Fox was good.
Better than Mario 64.
Mario Kart, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. There's only a small handful, I guess you could say. But back to Breath of the Wild. I know you're seeing 10s everywhere. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. You
best
got
game ever made.
Yeah. There's sort of that comment, but man, it is a lot different than I had anticipated. I was kind of expecting another like Twilight Princess or something, which was okay. They've become sort of a parody of the games that were once before.
I liked Twilight Princess. That was really the only one that I got really all that connected to. It was just because it had like some of those like darker overtones, I guess. And I'm like inside, I'm still like a garbage Molgoth. So like if you like inject like a little bit of sadness into it, I'm like, it's so deep, it's so sad. That's why like I love watching people play the Souls games, but I still can't play them myself. Like I'm still terrible at them.
You might like this one then.
No, it's all cell shaded with fun colors. I
like cell shaded games. Like
Killer 7. That's an appropriate cell shaded game. I want to see no like weird. I don't care. I don't care about the character. I don't care about like everybody's like, oh, it's an adventure. I'm like, yeah, but if I wanted like nameless protagonist on an adventure, I'd pick something like Fallout or Skyrim or because there I get to do whatever I want. In Breath of the Wild, as far as I know, I can't walk into a village and go Skywalker on a bunch of people's asses. Like I can't just walk in and murder a village because I feel like it.
You can murder chickens, right? You can kill chickens.
No, that's the thing. You can't kill the chickens.
No, you can, and then they attack you and you die.
Yeah, they pretty much usually own you in all the previous games. I haven't
They do
actually
this one
tried
too.
that.
I saw a clip. They do.
But the thing that I've really enjoyed about this one is every time I think I have all the mechanics down, the game opens up again and shows me some new things to do.
But did you say somebody beat it in 3 hours though?
Yeah,
already some speedrunner.
Because you can literally like go straight for the main boss. Once you get the paraglider, I'm pretty sure you can just go straight to Ganon, and if you can devise a way to beat him at a really low level, then it can be done. So yeah, someone beat it at like 3 hours and 39 minutes. I think I saw on Kotaku somewhere around there.
I would be mad about that if I bought a game and then I beat it in 3 hours.
Oh, but I've been playing for 3 days, and I've been playing a good chunk of each of day. The majority of my waking hours have been playing this, and I literally have 3 sections of the map unveiled, and there's so much more to go. I mean, I might have a quarter of the map unveiled right now, but as far as even the main storyline, I've been taking all these side quests and just kind of going off and doing whatever I want, which is awesome. You could literally go anywhere in the game. Like I said, you could go right up to Ganon and try to beat Ganon if you would like, but you're not going to be able to do that for most people, at least.
So is this, like, just from what I've seen, does this game, okay, like, so Shadow of the Colossus, right? Shadow of the Colossus is a game that I would say is about adventure. It's simple, but at the same time, it's about adventure, and it makes you feel things. Like I felt bad a lot of that game. Like that game does not make you feel good about doing what you're doing or about the adventure as a whole. And a lot of times it feels hopeless, and like it does all that without a lot of like speaking lines or like a lot of stuff to it. Is that game is the Zelda series going in that direction? Because I feel like Nintendo banks so hard on like nameless boy. It's just boy. You put your own, self into the character, and then that's the character you're playing. But games like Shadow of the Colossus give you a faceless kind of character that you get to be, but you actually give a shit by the end of the game. Like you care. I've never cared about Link. I've never cared about Zelda. I've never cared about any of that. Does this game actually have like a story that I'm going to care about?
I might. So, okay.
That sounds like a firm no.
So you basically, you do wake up. You don't have any memories.
You have amnesia. It's the typical Nintendo.
That's a typical Japanese RPG trope, right? How many RPGs have you played where you have amnesia? So you not only have to figure out who you are, but where you are in this world.
Sean wishes he had amnesia from Super Mario 64.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
he wishes he could play it again for the first time.
No, I wish I could just smash it again for the first time. Smashed it too many times to count.
But as you're going into a world which is just devastated. There was a war that happened 100 years ago, and you lost. Everyone lost, and how
does everyone lose?
It's pretty interesting.
There's always a winner.
Yeah, okay. That would be Ganon.
Was it Ganon or Ganondorf? That always confused me. They look like the same guy. Is it the same person?
I don't know, to be honest.
No, it's because I'm not
this is Zelda fanboy, so
this is another thing that pisses me off about Zelda, though. Like, they got all these alternate timelines and shit, and it's like, you got to be a goddamn Encyclopedia Britannica to know what the hell's going on. Like,
right, Grandpa?
Yeah, dude, I gotta have like a family tree and get all these lineages and these splinter off, like, some things that happen, matters. And like, yeah, but it doesn't happen, but that's how the entirety, so like, every Link you play is a different person. Like the two Links are never the same.
I thought there was like one game, or there's two games where it was the same one you played.
There might have been. If you
the N64 era, maybe, but I thought one was like if Ganon wins and one is if he loses, though. I thought is how that worked. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Nothing.
I'm sure people are going to be really pissed at us. Like,
we're sitting here roasting like one of the most beloved. At least it's not Sonic, because then we would just get some crazy.
Point us to the Reddit forum where they figured that one out. We'll definitely not look at that.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get our researchers right on that. We'll get our intern on that when we get one, if we ever do. Or I'll just pay a guy to do it and then just not read his results.
We'll just throw in the garbage in front of him.
Yeah, set it on fire. Just be like, thanks for that. We just said we'd do it. We didn't say we'd read it.
But one of the coolest things about this game, and I think the thing that's connecting with so many people, is that it is an open world game. It does a lot of things just really, really well. As far as like the mechanics of the game, the mechanics are simple, but there's a lot of elements to it. You can get by just button slashing, or you can actually, get out there and improve your skills as far as like actually getting some, stick jockey skills, I guess you could say, sort of like a Dark Souls or something like that, I guess. But it's an open world.
You immediately turn Matt off.
No, I've been playing Dark Souls too. I've just been playing it with somebody, and that makes a difference. Anyway, that's a story for a different time.
Think Dark Souls light, essentially, as far as that goes. I mean, it's very, very simple, but you can add a lot of flair to it, and you can actually be better with lower abilities and stuff. And there's not really, I can't really say abilities. I mean, there's no like abilities to upgrade as far as that goes. There's just your health and your stamina, at least at this point in the game. But there's better armor.
Is there a donger slider?
There is no donger slider. But everything breaks.
Well, it's a good thing that there is no donger slider if everything breaks. Well, yeah, that is all I'm saying.
That's a fair point. Nick, counterpoint.
Yeah, no. The weapons, the bows, your shields, everything breaks. So even if you have a couple of a set of equipment that you really like, it's going away eventually, which is at first I didn't like, but to be honest, it's kind of interesting because you could be in a situation where you didn't actually mean to get into that situation yourself. You were kind of exploring and you got in an area where there's a lot of OP creatures and you can't quite handle them yet. And if some of your best gear starts breaking on you, I mean, you're just going to die a lot in this game. There's no two ways about it. You're going to die a lot. But it handles that pretty well. It takes you back. I was going to say it takes you back to the most recent save point, unless you die because you like jumped off a cliff or something of that nature. Then it usually just puts you right back to where you jumped off or where you fell off, with just less health.
Seems like too much hand holding to me.
That's about all the hand holding in the game. That's the other nice thing about it. There's no... All the previous Zelda games that I've played since Zelda's been 3D, you've had something floating around you telling you what to do the whole time. So
you don't have the little floaty fairy?
No.
Hey,
no. Navi's gone. Midna's gone. It's just
That's
you.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just you. And one of the cool things is I actually got in this cool area where it was the first time I ever saw anyone on horseback, and I was gliding into the area from the top of a mountain, and I saw that, and I got close enough to them to where like I dropped on top of them and knocked them off their horse. I stole their horse, and I'm still riding that horse. That's my horse now. And you can literally just go find a pack of wild horses, jump on one of them, and it just takes a couple of moments, but essentially you break the horse and then it's your horse. Different horses have different stats as far as like how much stamina they can burn before they're exhausted and a bunch of other things. But you don't just have like a Epona. You don't just like, hey, here's your standard horse. Here's your standard, I got a boomerang. But here's the thing. It's not just a boomerang. I actually have 5 boomerangs in my inventory. I can lose them. They break. if they hit really hard surfaces. It's not all standard. So again, it's just very different than any of the previous Zeldas, and I think that's the thing that's what I'm enjoying the most. I never know what's happening next.
So it's like a departure from what the kind of norm is for.
Oh
for
yeah,
Legend
definitely.
I'm not opposed to that. Maybe I'll like it.
And here's the
maybe
other
I'll
thing.
get it for the Wii U.
Yeah, here's the other thing. If you already have a Wii U, get it. The only difference.
Tell me what to do.
The only differences that I've seen, as far as Digital Foundry and a couple of other people have said, the game actually just runs in 720p on the Wii U instead of the 900p when docked. And the draw distance, at least the filtering distance, isn't quite as long, and there's a few more pop-ups. But in a game like that with such stylized artwork, just like Wind Waker, it'll really stand out, I think. I think it can. It's one of those games that you're going to look back on probably in 10 years and be like, if they made an HD version of this, they wouldn't have to do too much, and I'd still play it. So I guess that's all I got to say about it. But it's awesome.
I'm not sold. Still, I want to care about the character. Like I just said I got Sniper Elite, and I don't care about that character. But like,
is it even character? That's just dude. It's just
yeah, generic angry white dude, shooting Nazis. I don't even know if I remember. Did I mention at the beginning? If I didn't, I got Sniper Elite 4 also. And that's like my guilty pleasure game. And like, I don't care about that character at all, or like really the story. But there's like so much to it that like it's kind of like my guilty pleasure. Like I enjoy. I beat the first level and it took me like 2 hours, like, because it's a lot of crawling and positioning and that kind of stuff. And so I like it. And like, I like the, I don't know if I don't call it like monotony. Like I like the, like not the repetitiveness, but like the planning and the figuring it out. And like, you're kind of left to your own devices. Like I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like this game is kind of going that direction, but I think I'm still soured on it because I just never cared. And then having people who are fans of the game come to me and go, you have to play this. It's just like, dude, you've been telling me that since forever, so I'm not going to listen to you. But like, that's the good thing about having somebody that I know have the game. Mm-hmm. Somebody who's not a fan, because you're not just like a Zelda fanboy. You're not a Nintendo fanboy. You're sitting here saying, hey, like, I really like this game and it's not like the rest of them. So here's why. But and you, for one, I know that you were a big fan of like other open world games. Like you like Fallout a lot and you like Skyrim a lot.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, coming from you, I think it holds more weight if you're like, hey, this is not like a watered down open world. This is like a legit full size open world game. Yeah,
it's massive. I'm actually really surprised at how big it is. You start off on a plateau. So I was like, oh, this is decent size for the game. And then I realized how small that plateau was on the larger map once I got off the plateau, which took me the whole first day, basically. It's fun.
That's
and,
good.
And the other thing, like you mentioned approaching situations and kind of figuring out your own devices for getting through things. There's that also. There'll be times when I do have the upper hand because I'm on the top of a cliff and there might be a rock nearby, or I actually have this magnetic ability where I can like lift certain types of rocks. I've dropped rocks on people's heads that were like way overpowered for me to actually fight and grab their gear when they died. There's a lot of different things that you could do. There's arrows that have bombs in them, and I've actually shot guys with those, and first I would actually get them near a bunch of other, like they're called bokoblins. They're like weird looking goblins essentially, but I would get a bunch of them near each other in a pack and then hit one of them with the bomb arrow and it would explode and just take them all out. There's more ways to approach it than just attack. You can fight on the back of your horse. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do in this game. Like I said, every time I think I have a good handle on all the mechanics of the game, they throw something else at me. I'll get in an area where something's added, or a situation I never thought of before is kind of thrown at you. It's good. It's different. I do recommend it.
Cool. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's good. I think that's a good overview. I'm still not sold. I ain't going to buy it, but you and Sean can buy it and let me know.
Well, only reason I'll buy it is because I'm a collector and I just want to possess a copy of it. So I will get it. I might play it.
I'm the concept of the Switch intrigues me a lot. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it was handled quite the way it should have been. And considering how many changes that day one patch made and how many things it fixed that were already issues, I might pick it up in the future. Like a $50 price drop would be helpful.
The $10 game?
I'm not good. No. I mean on the console. On the Switch.
Okay.
No. Yeah, on the game. Yeah, that would definitely help on the game. But no, on the console. Like if we were talking like, because I even said this before to Nick, and it wasn't on the last episode, but it was like in person we were talking about it, and I said if the thing's like $250, like I'd be definitely interested. But and $50 for a grown man who has like a budget that he can go spend on a game, like that's not that bad. But like when you're thinking like a teenager, $50 is a lot of money. That's a big difference between whether you're getting a console and whether you're not. Yeah. And with how kind of lackluster the thing has been so far with anything that's not Zelda, especially when the same version is available for a different console, it doesn't give me a lot of faith that it's in great shape. So I mean, I will definitely, I'll be curious. I just think that maybe I'll give it a year and pick it up then after its first price drop, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm interested, but not interested enough to give them $300.
Well, and here's my sort of recommendation for people that are still kind of sitting on the fence on it. I definitely would consider maybe waiting a few months for a few more titles to come out. Breath of the Wild, I have a feeling, is going to take me a really long time to complete, and I do have a couple of other games, but they're games, they're going to be spreading them out like month by month for a little bit. To me, it feels like the console had like a soft launch, if you will. I feel like they put a bunch of their stronger games and they grabbed them and they spread them out. And I know we're getting E3 soon, so we might see more from them because they actually bought up more space on the E3 floor this year than Microsoft, which is a complete departure from what Nintendo was doing of not even showing up to E3.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't they just do their Nintendo event and they don't ever go to E3, right?
Right. They used to do their direct for like the whole Wii U lifespan there. They're actually showing up. So it should be pretty interesting, I think.
Okay, cool.
But enough of that.
All right. Well, we also had a couple other things this week, and I thought maybe we could talk about the Conan Exiles patch that just dropped.
Oh man,
dude, it was 14 gigs.
Well, they had to fix all the stuff they broke.
14 gigs. Did you look at the patch notes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Some of the stuff that they had to fix was like crazy. So like
don't touch the trees or you'll crash the game.
Yeah, like it was literally that was like because Nick, you haven't really got into it yet. Like you've played it solo, right? So Sean and I, I run a server again. If you guys want to join it, the instructions to join were in the last podcast. I'll make sure they're in this one. And if you don't have the game, actually, I think we have a key to give away.
Yeah, I got a key from the developer. So if anybody who's listening wants to get their hands on this game for free, we can do that for you.
Yeah,
not like everybody.
Yeah. So if you want to get the game, all you have to do is if you find us on Twitter, it should be NerdLifeTX on Twitter, correct, Sean?
That is it, at NerdLifeTX.
Yeah, so tweet at NerdLifeTX with the hashtag slider to the right. And you will get that joke.
If you've never played the game, you will not get that. But everyone who actively plays this is laughing right now.
Yeah, they're going to understand the joke. So just tweet at NerdLifeTX, hashtag slider to the right.
And just say something. It doesn't matter what you say.
Just say whatever, and then we'll pick a winner out of however many people decide that they
out of all 4 people that actively listen.
Yeah, out of all 4 people, and like
people get a free copy of the game,
right? And 3 of them are like just our moms. Yeah. So whichever that one other guy is,
I do not my mom messing with that slider. Stay away from the slider, Mom.
Mom, no sliders.
No sliders.
So if you want to play the game with us, do that. So that was a side note. We'll talk about it again at the end, and we'll put something in the description, not the instructions, because you got to listen to get the instructions. That's how this works. So other than that, they had issues with startup time. Dude, startup time was so bad. It was so bad, and it would crash during startup sometimes. So you'd boot the game, and you'd be sitting there, and let's say 3 of us were trying to get on, Sean and I play with another guy named Micah that helps with the site. And Sean and I will sign on, everything will be fine. I'll sign in, Sean will sign in second, and then Micah will go, all right, okay, all right, and then it'll just crash, and it'll have to start over. It's so weird. It doesn't make any sense when it decides it's going to connect and when it's not. It's really, really weird. But apparently they've fixed the startup time issues. And they've done a lot of changes if you're international. I guess they were having a lot of issues with Asian servers, and those are fixed now. But those won't affect us because our server is here in the States.
It's Chicago, is where, right?
No, actually, I think it's Dallas. I
Okay.
went in Dallas, actually. Because I knew it was most of our staff for Nerd Life is stationed out of Texas, so I figured Dallas would be better. So they finally added legit admin tools, which they never really had. You can restrict PvP time on a server to certain times. Well, that would have been cool to have before when I was Murder Nate and Sean when he logged in, or it's so weird because you can basically walk up and kill a guy whenever, and it's so awkward. There's so many weird things that you can do in that game to kill another player,
teleport somebody into a fire,
teleport Sean into his own fiery pit. Yeah, you can do that. I mean, I can do that. The rest of you can't because I'm the only one with the admin power. If you join our server, I won't do that to you. Maybe it depends on whether or not you live with us, because we're trying to make a house that looks like that episode of The Real World back when Puck was on. That's before all your times. Anyway, Google it. Just Google it. We'll wait. Look it up right now.
All right, sir.
All right, cool, good.
His Google's loud.
Mine's the loudest Google ever.
As loud as Google's. We can also finally modify the damage done by NPCs and modify the damage that players can do to each other, that's you'd have thought that shit would all been built in. You'd have thought that would have been some of the first stuff they
No, that's an afterthought. That's we're hurting people? We need to control that.
No, yeah, I know, but I don't know. This game is so weird because it's so finished. It seems so put together, and at the same time, it's not at all.
Mm-hmm.
It seems so very when you play the game, you're this is pretty good. This is for early access. They really got their shit together. And then you're just walking, and you look over, and there's just a crocodile glitching out and floating on top of water, and then he just kills you in one hit. Or you just see a tree drop
through the wall of your house and kill you while you're in there, and you're well, you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah, dude, we had a crocodile literally it took us weeks to get up enough XP to finally build a craftsman table inside of our house so we could build armor and stuff. And Sean and I are standing there one day, a crocodile's head comes through the wall, chomps down on the craftsman table, and it just explodes into pieces. We're oh, that was awesome. I'm glad that happened. Yeah, it's fine. No, it's fine. We didn't need it at all. We're just mud people, just living out here alone forever in sadness. It's just horrible. So, some of that stuff they're still kind of working on. I have noticed lately there hasn't been as much clipping with enemies.
So maybe they fixed that.
Yeah, it seems better now. I also they need to work on the thralls because we have 2 thralls in our camp right now. And if anything walks past the outside of our outer wall of our base, our thrall like wigs out and just like runs himself into the wall repeatedly. Like he just like pulls his sword out and then he just like walks into the wall in the same spot over and over again. It's really uncomfortable. And I just like walk out. I'm like, you okay? You okay? Like it's so uncomfortable. But past that, they made some visual improvements. I don't know if this is due to it, but I was actually building in an area that had grass yesterday, and I wasn't able to put foundation down on areas that had grass on them. It was non-harvestable grass.
What? Why?
Yeah.
That's weird.
So I don't know. Like I just couldn't put it down, so I don't know what happened.
Titanium grass.
That's exactly what it was, dude. Like it's like, no, you can't put foundation here. I'm like, just step on it. Just literally step on the grass. Just move it. But that's a no. There's a no-go on that. So they hit all that. You can't harvest your own body, which Sean and I are both we both do that because we both sacrifice each other's body and our own bodies to our gods in the game.
In case you need food, though. I need to eat your body for sustenance.
Or your own body. Yeah, so like...
Yeah, I'll kill myself and come back.
Yeah, I worshipped Set. So when we first started playing, I used to kill myself. Like I'd jump off like a cliff or something, I'd die, I'd go back to my body, I'd hatchet it apart, and then I'd use my set knife to cut my heart out and just sacrifice it to my god. Well, you can't do that anymore, like because
that's not realistic.
Well, you could get like favor with your god super quick. They also mentioned in here that you can no longer jump on top of exploding jars. Which, first of all, I didn't even know exploding jars were a thing. Second of all, what were you doing? Third of all, why did they have to add in the line, quote, not without consequences, that is? Like, okay. Like that's I don't understand. But they've also added tweaks to river volumes, which is great because it sounds like there's a goddamn rainforest in your brain when you play that game if you have headphones on. Okay. It is so loud. We had to adjust the settings every time we logged in or out to that game. So that was some old bullshit there. But yeah, so that's the new Conan Exiles patch we wanted to touch really, really quick. And we are getting late in our recording time, but I kind of tried to go quickly through that. I wanted to cover, and this isn't, Nick's not going to care as much as Sean does, but I wanted to talk really, really quickly before we wrapped up about the new Overwatch character. Oh my God, dude. She is a demon from hell.
Oh, God.
Yeah. If you haven't seen her yet, well, first of all, you can go over to NerdLifeTX.com on our site, and we have a little rundown of her abilities and some footage of her. But Sean, you actually played her, right?
Yeah, I got in PTR yesterday. I've been super busy, but I did make some time last night because I wanted to play. Her name's Orisa.
Yeah, Orisa.
Orisa, yeah. So I wanted to play as her so I could come into the recording of this and actually have a little bit of insight on what the hell is this thing. Because I hadn't been following all the little like hints and stuff that Blizzard likes to drop. I kind of didn't pay attention to it on this character because they didn't make a big deal about this one as they did with
Sombra?
Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of her name. Sombra, yeah. I just made some noises and I assumed that was her name. So yeah, this is just kind of like they did with Ana. It was kind of like, oh, here's a new character. That's sort of how they do with this one. It was just like, oh, here's a new character. Hope you here's a video too.
Yeah, so, here's this. Enjoy this. Well, I was worried because they kept showing character art for the little kid who built her. Mm-hmm. I can't.
Thought it was gonna be like you're gonna play as like a baby or something.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna be like a teenage kid with the gauntlet on, with the Doomfist on.
Dude, I would have played that. I would have played the hell out of that.
I would have hated that.
Why?
Because they were pitching this kid this kid's like, oh man, I love Lucio, whatever, and I'm like, dude, Lucio is the most boring character in the game. Lucio's just like, what do you? I'm Soundman. I got headphones. I play music. I'm Soundman. I'm every EDM kid you know. No, I don't want to play that character. I love Lucio.
But you play him all the time, though.
Yes, I love his abilities and stuff, but as a character,
the visual representation of this character.
Yeah, and the visual representation, his whole man, I wish I would have brought my sticks. His dancing and his rollerblades, all that. I just don't. It's not that cool to me. I'd still rather play Ana or Zenyatta or like any of the other healers. Well, yeah, even I don't even like attack. Like I'm not an aggressive character. Like I'm usually like a support character or a healer. I would still rather play any like active damage character than him. He's just so boring. Like visually, everything. The only character I think is more boring than him is Reaper, and that's just because he's literally just edgelord Malgoth the character.
Yeah, but it does take a little bit of skill to play Reaper. You have to be able to flank well, and you have to know positioning and stuff. So I don't. Yeah, but like Lucio's just like just run on the walls, don't die. That's like that's how you play the character.
Run on walls, boot people off ledges, boop 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 boop.
You don't even have to do that.
Yeah. So, but like when they started showing like the graphics, they kept showing visual representations, and there was like some supposedly like leaked or whatever. I don't know. I saw it on Reddit. It was like this picture of like a younger kid who, he was like a little scientist kind of looking kid, and they had like a little bio about him liking Lucio a lot and all this stuff. I'm like, oh my god, are they just gonna make like a little kid Lucio? Like that's the most boring thing I've ever seen.
You can play two Lucios.
Yeah, it's just like why? And then they started like talking about like how. There's big holes in the walls and the Doomfist was missing and all this stuff. I'm like, whoa, like what is happening? Like I hope that it's not just this little kid wearing a big ass gauntlet. Like that sounds boring as hell.
Behind him.
Yeah, like I'm like, no thanks. Like what is he just got ultra boop? He's just like boop and he just like hits you across the map. Like,
that's when they build indestructible environments.
Yeah, that's just he just hits you into a car and it just explodes. But essentially he was like the inventor of this new character.
Well, I think it was that there was like a broken down like one of the mechs, and she like goes and improves it and fixes it.
Yeah, so the new character, she is like a quad legged, like a quadruped,
like a minotaur. Centaur.
She's sweet. Yeah. Centaurs have 4 legs, right? Minotaurs are like two legged.
It's like a bull man, but no, it's like a
bullman. Yeah.
Bullman.
But he's got a bullman head. He's got like horns on her. She has horns on her head. It's a she.
Orisa?
Yeah. Right?
She's kind of like a mixture between a centaur and a minotaur.
Yeah, because we're all smart old men. So
and she's a tank, right?
Okay, yeah. So kind of. She's rolled as a tank, but she also has support features and crowd control features. So it's like this like weird hybrid kind of like how Ana is a little bit of a hybrid because she's a healer and a damage dealer. That's how Orisa is, but it's just like they took some of the abilities from like a bunch of different characters and manipulated them a little bit, and then just made this like super powerful tank. And it is okay. She is good in the right hands. I think going into like a quick play match, because people are going to try to play her as soon as once we talk about going out of PTR and it's going public. You're just going to have random like people. I'm a level 6, so I'm going to play her, and they're going to have no clue, and they're just going to die insanely fast because it does take some skill to play her, but at the same time, if you're a veteran Overwatch player, you've been playing it since the beginning, you'll figure it out pretty quick, and she's not that hard to play.
Yeah, so her abilities are. Let me see here. You've got them in the article here.
Yeah, so her attack. The attack is basically. It's Bastion's not in sentry gun, like his normal machine gun that he has. So it's like that, but when you fire it, it slows her down. So you kind of have to be, it helps if you're stationary when you're firing it. And it has a spread pattern to it, so it's not 100% accurate.
It's got 200 rounds in it, or some obscene amount of rounds. It can go forever.
Yeah. About like Bastion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, and then she has an ability. Her left shift basically gives her partial invulnerability, and she ignores movement impairing effects. So like Reinhardt's slam, the Earth Shatter, that does not affect you if you have your left shift on.
And Anna's sleep dart, right?
Yeah, anything that puts you to sleep, freeze, anything like that. It's just like I don't care what you're doing. I'm gonna keep you out and blast your face off. So that's the left shift. E shoots a little. It's like a little pod. It shoots out, and then it turns on a shield with like 900 health.
Oh
Wow.
So you could, and you only can have one up at a time. Otherwise, you can just like build yourself a wall. But so you drop one down at a time, and you play that with a Reinhardt, and dude, you can push through a map so fast. If you have a good team behind you and you have some competent healers, you can just steamroll people.
Well, think about how big of a nightmare it is. So, like, think about when you're moving a payload and you got a Bastion and like a Reinhardt and like a Winston.
Yeah. Dude,
those three characters by themselves could push a payload to the end. It's just getting the payload initially they need help with. But then after that.
Yeah, throw in another character with a shield and.
Yeah, so instead of Bastion, you swap it out to this new character. Oh my god!
Try with a Bastion in this character.
Oh my god, it would be a nightmare.
Shield City, man.
Yeah, and then trying to capture a point with a posted up Bastion and this girl are gonna be impossible. Like you're gonna I hope they step up Genji a little bit because he's gonna be our only defense because he can bounce those rounds back.
Yeah.
And it's weird. So like they've got that, but then she has that thing that's like Zyara's ult.
Okay, yeah. So if you right click, shoots out this like photon ball, and then if you hit right click again, it explodes and it sucks everybody into it. So you can actually, so let's say you're in like one of the stages where there's like a gate, like one of the gateways you can like use as kind of like a staging position. There's a few of them,
Eichenwald.
Yeah, Eichenwald's one, like that first archway. So you know how people will kind of like hide around the corners. So with this character, you can actually use that. You right click, you fly it out there and right click, and it'll pull everybody out from hiding so that you can sit there and just like unload on people. Yeah, it's no joke.
It's a nightmare. I saw
it. The cooldown on it is like crazy. It's super fast, so you can just like use it over and over again. And you can't really, once you get sucked up, it's almost like if you're the character that's being sucked up, it feels like time slows down. So your like movement is slowed. It's really a weird visual kind of effect. So it's a little off-putting, and it throws you off, man. It's crazy.
Oh my god! And then her ult is the most unfair thing I've ever seen. Like her ult is Anna's ult on cocaine. That it affects the entire team. It's like if you took Symmetra's, her second ult that she has, the shield barrier.
The shield barrier. Yeah. So it's like take that and then just reverse it. So instead of adding defense, it adds damage. And it's everyone in line of sight of this little like totem. So it doesn't like, and it's like super crazy range on it.
And it lasts forever.
Oh yeah. It's like 15 seconds or something like that. It seems it might be longer than that. I don't know. I didn't time it, but
it's an eternity, dude. In that game, like 5 seconds in that game is an eternity.
Yeah, sleep for 5 seconds. It feels like you're there for like 10 minutes.
Oh, I know. Yeah. On a sleep dart, when you get hit with that, it's long enough for you to like be like, well, fine, I might as well go get a beer and just come back because this is going to be. I'll get up tomorrow and play. So, yeah, that's what it feels like. But this is just once they announced this character. Like when I first saw the gameplay footage, I wanted to cry.
I was like, "Oh!" and walked out.
My God, it's starting to look like, and this also happened with Symmetra a little bit. Blizzard seems to be letting some of that like Heroes of the Storm, like our new character is our best character, and screw everybody else thing. A little bit of that seems to be leaching over into Overwatch, except for the new character is free. It's not like Heroes of the Storm where they're trying to get you to buy this new character. So essentially, like, plan on not being able to play this character when they come out because everybody's going to auto-lock her. And she's probably going to end up being a primary tank in comp play. It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know. I honestly don't know because Reinhardt is so strong. I don't see him being kind of dethroned as top of the meta. And right now with Roadhog being as broken and powerful as he is, I don't see him moving. So maybe as an alternate like third tank, because I've seen some comps where people will run 3 tanks.
But third tank's usually like Diva though, and Diva's ultimate makes up for her anything else.
Absolutely,
because her ability to chuck that mech over a wall and just annihilate an entire other team if they're not paying attention is so useful.
But I do see her as being a replacement for Symmetra. So like
Oh, God.
obviously playing this tank as a support character, because it does have the shield, it does have the damage boost, and it does have the ability for, crowd control mechanisms. So I could see this tank being forced into more of a support role, kind of like we all know that Junkrat is not a defensive character. He is an offensive character for like 90% of the people that play him. I see this character as being listed as a tank, but played a lot differently depending on how Blizzard handles this stuff. So, I mean, I wouldn't say she's OP. She's not completely overpowered, but I think that in the right hands, she's going to be very, very deadly.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we are at about an hour and 10. So I think that we are going to start wrapping it up here. As always, remember, if you're interested in what we're doing, what we're talking about, us, or what we have to say about things, head over to NerdLifeTX.com. That is the primary spot we post everything. Any of our stuff that we work on always ends up there in some form or another. So that's the best place to start to get a hold of all of us. You can follow me on anything. I'm NitroWeasel3K on just about everything. So Steam, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, everything. You can find me NitroWeasel3K. Sean?
I am, you can find me on Twitter, GWS Rancor, RAINKORE. That's really the only other thing I use other than Facebook. And then you can check the website out on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Everything that we do, we post up there, so you don't have to check the website religiously. If you want to, I would be really happy about that, because that'd be good. But yeah, that's where you can find us. I would say it's in the next couple weeks, we're going to be putting out a bunch of really cool stuff. We're working on some neat videos and some articles and stuff like that. I'm trying to finally sit down with my kid again so Riley can do another review. If you have not seen that, you need to go to our YouTube channel. And actually, I looked the other day. If you just type in Overwatch 3-year-old, Riley is the second video that pops up under the mass of people that decided to copy what we were doing. Awesome. There was I didn't know about this. This is like a fad or something like that. But there's a bunch of people that, having kids do whatever with Overwatch, like, oh, name all the characters or whatever. I'd never seen those videos, and then it ended up that Riley, I did a review of Overwatch with my 3-year-old daughter, and it kind of blew up. It got really big, and I looked and I was like, oh, there's like 2 or 3 other videos that do that. Dude, if you go now, there's like 20 or 30 other videos, and they're all like way past ours. I mean, not that we have the most. I mean, there's like a video on there that has like over 1 million views. I mean, we have a fair 26,000, but still, that's a lot. I mean, if you look at the next video we have is like 2,000 views, so it's kind of like, okay, this is one of our big videos. So
yeah, Riley was dominating Reddit for a little bit there. I had posted the video for her doing it on Reddit, and she was absolutely
Overwatch
killing it.
Subreddit, right?
Yeah, dude. I got two people gave me gold for that, which I've never had in my life. So that was crazy. I got more responses to that than anything I've ever posted for anything that I've added to any conversation or anything like that.
So you got rewarded for something you didn't even do.
Yeah, that's how Reddit works.
I made that clear then.
Reddit's like, you made that? I don't want to hear about it. Hey, you know somebody that made that? That's fine. That's fine.
I'll buy you stuff. Here's some flowers.
Here's this. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, but I recommend that checking out Riley Reviews Overwatch. Nick, what do you have going on? Where can they find you?
They can pretty much find me on the site or any social media at Z3R0PNG. That's 0ping. And I will be putting out a couple of articles on the site, so make sure you hit the site to check that out. This at the time of posting this, we have up the newest Overwatch character is Orisa article by Sean, and he's going to talk about, he'll give you the rundown of all those abilities. You'll get the names and a couple of videos in there.
posting here probably after we do this, maybe tomorrow morning. I will be posting an article about the remix for the Ghost in the Shell theme that Steve Aoki did for the movie. It's pretty cool. So that article will be up along with the teaser for Deadpool. There's a teaser out for Deadpool 2 that I'm going to pull and probably get that posted. So those will both be up probably before this goes up. If they're not, I'm sorry, and they will be up shortly. But I'm guessing they will be because I will have to edit this down as well, so I will do those first. But beyond that, we appreciate you checking us out. Remember that if you want to be in the running to win that free copy of Conan Exiles, that you need to tweet at NerdLifeTX and use the hashtag slider to the right. And we'll know that you want to be a part of that contest, and we will draw somebody after, what do you think, Sean? 10 days, 5 days after we post this?
Yeah, I'd say 10 days. I think
all right,
that's fair.
10 days after this goes up, we'll pull a winner, and we'll let you know by Twitter if you won, and then we'll DM you or something and get you the key. So I think that's it. That about wraps it up for us. We appreciate you listening. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're still kind of learning how to do this. This is only our second episode as this group, so don't judge us too harshly. And if you liked what you heard, leave us a comment or send us a message. Follow us on social media and let us know. Until next time, we appreciate it. And thanks a lot for listening. Later.
Bye.
And boy.
It's Mom Zone. Breaking news, the Fremont family declares where they're going for back to school.
The Fremonts are going with Academy.
Mrs. Fremont, why Academy over another store?
When my kids say they'll never use math in the real world, I just show them how low my Academy receipt is.
Do you have any other thoughts?
Look, back to school is a numbers game, and numbers don't lie.
Nobody starts your season with better brands and lower prices than Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less. Price match guarantee details at academy.com.
It's Mom Zone. Breaking news, the Fremont family declares where they're going for back to school.
The Fremonts are going with Academy.
Mrs. Fremont, why Academy over another store?
When my kids say they'll never use math in the real world, I just show them how low my Academy receipt is.
Do you have any other thoughts?
Look, back to school is a numbers game, and numbers don't lie.
Nobody starts your season with better brands and lower prices than Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less. Price match guarantee details at academy.com. 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 Details at academy.com.